the main road, take a minute to appreciate the tulip tree allée.
Allée is French for a tree-lined walk.
These are tulip trees, named for the green and yellow springtime flowers that resemble tulips. This memorable planting was named a New York City landmark in 2009, along with the library building and Fountain of Life. According to garden lore, the tulip trees planted here came from a single mother tree, which is the largest tree in the allée, and is just one of the thousands of trees across the landscape that are older than the garden itself.
The rest of the tulip trees were planted in 1905 under the direction of the garden's founding director, botanist and taxonomist Nathaniel Lord Britton.
Britton and his wife, Elizabeth Knight Britton, herself a distinguished botanist, were leaders of the movement to create a grand botanical garden in New York City in the late 19th century. While on their honeymoon in London in 1888, they visited the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. What they saw inspired them to lobby elected officials and civic leaders to create a public garden dedicated to science, education, and horticulture in New York.
Were successful, and in 1891, the New York State Legislature incorporated the New York Botanical Garden. Soon after, the couple selected this site, which featured a 50-acre old-growth forest surrounded by fields and pastures. In 1895, landscape architect Calvert Vaux, co-designer of Manhattan Central Park, created a master plan for the garden to allow for the planting of beautiful and diverse collections while preserving the natural beauty of the landscape.
More than 125 years after its founding, the garden's staff remain dedicated to preserving the natural and horticultural beauty of the landscape. They care for thousands of mature trees, plant hundreds of thousands of bulbs, annuals, and perennials, mow 75 acres of turf, and clip a mile of hedges to maintain this green oasis in the middle of New York City.
It is also a center for research and home to scientists and graduate students who are working to understand plant diversity and save the plants of the world. As they travel the globe, they might be collaborating with local partners in Brazil to preserve the rainforest, or recording the medicinal uses of plants in the South Pacific. At home, they document native plant species in the Hudson Valley and Central Park. NYBG scientists have written hundreds